Hello everyone, this is Nikki, you also known as Faces Trader, and you are watching the Awesome10X Global Market Update. It's March 22, 2021. I've been hounded by questions, and I'd like to answer these questions first and foremost. If this is your first time, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. But the first question that I got was, how can you rectify Awesome10X preaching hashtag never sell and yet doing a new call? So this controversial new call, I'd like to explain why. It was always a controversial move that's being asked. Why did Awesome10X prefer the nuke option? Okay, so let's discuss this. Let us discuss. The Awesome10X nuked on March 12, 2021. Not March 3, not March 4, not March 5. It was March 12, 2021. But prior to the new call on March 12, we also sold Feb 17, Feb 16, Feb 18. And we also sold prior to February 15, 16, Feb 15. Feb 15 was a Monday, isn't it? Anyway, I remember selling 16, 17, 18, Feb 16, 17, 18, February, and I sold December, January, February, depending on the sectors. So you could see, and I explained that not all stocks stopped out within a single day nor a single month. Not all stocks. It depends. If it was solar sector, it popped out January. So January, we were already giving sell calls on that. With some specific SPAC, give a sell call 100% on some SPACs that were $50 above, such as Luminar Technologies. We gave a sell-all call on QuantumScape at about $60 to $120. That was a complete sell even before February. I think it was as early as December or January. So not everyone is actually in the same page as Awesome10X, because you probably just watched me today or last week or last month. So you have to understand that for Grow Generation, which is a cannabis play, we entered that company at $12. I started selling that even before it reached peak at $60. I started selling as early as December at $40. As in 39 to 40, I was giving sell calls, trim calls, and then 50, and then 55. As it reached the $60, a sell call at the drop, which is probably at about 55 to 50, which still nets you at about 300 to 400%, which is why I'd like to answer a few questions. Some people said that Awesome10X gave a lot of buy calls December, January, February, which is right because it was specific. If you've bought our specific buy calls on check colorectal cancer, it did go 100%, even if you didn't sell it immediately. Let's sell it immediately, or even if you didn't sell our earlier buy calls from 150 to 240, let's say you sold at about 170 or 180 or even at 150, you didn't get damage there. Assuming that you buy our Novan, which we were buying Novan, NOVN, at about $1.99, that went to $2, which is an automatic take profit, which is, we always teach people after a 1x move, we sell completely or trim. But even if you trimmed half, any drop from 2 to 150 would still have netted you a gain. So I think that I have to explain that this controversial nuke sell call is the following. So I ask you, why did Awesome10X prefer the nuke option specifically on March 12, 2021? It was specific March 12 because on March 12, a week or 2 weeks after the actual drop of March 3, wherein we bought massively, guys, March 3, March 4, March 5, you could have seen Awesome10X buying those drops. You saw NEO falling to 35. NEO was being bought by Awesome10X only to be sold at 45, which is a 30% move in a single month. Actually, less than a month. We bought some XPeng, averaged it down from about 36 XPeng all the way to when it fell to $25 with an average cost about 32, and then selling it at 35 to 38 all the way to about 40 if it even reached 40 in this same week or so. So honestly speaking, when Unity was falling at about 88, we were actively buying 88, 90, 95 to sell it on the ramp up to 105 to 110. But of course, we like the company so much that we naturally bought it again. If it will fall and it's now at $100, we bought it back again. Maybe people are wondering, what's the point of all of these choppiness? We explained that the markets are choppy. We taught people how to sell put options in the Friday free class to help all of our Awesome 10X members, inner circle or for free, on how choppy the markets are, that you could actually make money selling put options on companies that we are most bullish at, which we believe are going to 10x in the long term or 1x or 3x in the long term. The reason for selling puts gives us a win-win scenario because selling put options allow us to get premium income. We get that premium income while waiting, or if it does hit our strike price, we are happy to buy those shares back. Because why do we even have cash in the first place? Because we made a new call. The new call allows us to be flexible and actually have so much cash to buy any drops, whether Jerome Powell saved the market or didn't save. Even before this March Madness, we have been explaining to people in our inner circle classes that the markets would likely fall after February. We said that as early as January. We said that even if you followed our space calls, you'd have made 100%. So you bought, let's say, GLAT and GSAT, you've made 100%, 9 to 18 in just a single month. You've made 40% if you've bought our Maxer technology. So I think that the question on why Awesome 10X preaches long-term investing, never sell, but then goes new call and all of these choppiness, it is not actually a flip-flop of a strategy. It is not. Awesome 10X arms you on how to navigate all types of markets. When the markets go chop, we teach you to actually learn how to make money on a choppy market. In fact, we gave a free class actually. We talked about how to navigate nightmare on Wall Street. We're even teaching people how to short, because if you don't know how to short, and you don't know how to sell puts or sell calls, you might actually see yourself with just like a very, very vanilla strategy, which is good for others. But then again, you won't make a lot of money with just a vanilla strategy. Because by selling puts on Teledoc at 150, we collect the premium. Notice what I did. I'll show to you Faces Trader. This is my profile page. By allowing people to actually learn how to short and then go long, we are able to profit on both sides. So I'm actually teaching Awesome 10X to learn how to profit in all types of markets. You make money while sleeping in a trending market. You also know how to sell puts and sell calls in a choppy market to collect premiums. Unfortunately, with eToro, you can't see how to do that. But with IBKR, I showed you how to do that. So with IBKR, this is an actual testimonial. Let me show you to this. Okay, so we sold some puts on Tesla because we wanted to buy it for $50. So there's two things that will happen here. You sell puts wherein you collect the premium. One share of one contract is 100 shares of Tesla. This is getting $1,738 for the price of buying Tesla $450 in 2 months' time. That's May 2021. So we usually preach getting a 1 month or 2 months or at most 3 months put option, but a sell puts because we're bullish on Tesla, Teladoc, Zoom Video, Palantir, C Limited, Roblox, and Xpeng. That was an actual portfolio snapshot. By the end of the day, this is the result. The result is this, all gains. And now we taught people how to learn how to short. This is an actual testimonial. Our clients shorted the market before it collapsed. The Trade Desk, eHang, and FacePubmatics. Take note that these shorts are actually when the market collapsed 8%, 9% in a single day. Our clients are making 8 to 9, 10% in a single day. Obviously, not every client can handle it, so there are different levels of students inside Awesome 10X. We have Awesome10X who doesn't know how to short. They don't know how to sell puts. They don't have any trading permissions on options. And so they are safely 100% in cash. And actually in today's call, in today's in today's class, this is our topic inside the inner circle. Portfolio construction, March 2021, after a new call. How do you actually handle and identify secular trend leaders you wish to participate upon? And we've got some templates on which companies that we want to enter on a 10 to 20% or even a 30% drop. So we are actively teaching people how to track while passively holding leaders. So Awesome10X did not flip-flop, by the way. We are flexible. We even had classes wherein we were teaching. This was an actual class. And I'll tell you this. Why must, okay? It is a requisite. November 12, 2020, why must Awesome10X investors trim winners if winners win? In every 10X move, there are a few truths. Temporary drops are inevitable and unavoidable. It takes years for it to be sustainable. Even the best companies can have a gap down. You can never know everything. You must admit imperfection in your system. When volatilities expand, exposures have to contract. When uncertainties expand, exposures have to contract no matter what, even if you hold a winner, and more importantly, if you have a loser. And so I talk to people how to sell better, finer points in determining when the trend isn't your friend. I've been teaching people even from the Philippine time for my prior Bukaka members, which is really prior to Awesome10X, I had a website. My other co-founder had to move on. He got promoted on his visa. So I had to partner with a different person, and so Awesome10X was born. But either way, it really is the same concept. Awesome10X teaches people how to navigate actually in all markets. You make money while sleeping in a trending market. You learn how to sell puts and sell calls in a choppy market. And you actually learn how to short in a downtrending market. So actually, guys, Awesome10X system is superior to most of the other systems. It is not flip-floppy because the most superior system knows how to handle all types of markets. By the way, some people answer that, what do I do with SPACs, with all these SPACs that I like? The new call was a suggestion to sell even all those great SPACs. But really, after it fell, wherein Ouster fell to about $10, we picked it up. So selling Ouster about 12 to 13 made more sense. Getting that 20 to 30% profit or minimizing a loss and then getting back into Angus Pacala, aka the CEO of Ouster. So to be honest, the flexibility that Awesome10X gives should be actually applauded rather than asked about. But either way, let me explain to you. Of course, I am a hybrid. I am, at the end of the day, a chartered market technician. I've got skills on both. I can handle fundamental secular trends and show to you the path of a Palantir, but also tell you the path in the short term of Palantir is choppy. Therefore, you could sell puts on the $20, collect those premiums, and then sell calls at about $30, even sell covered calls while you own those Palantir if you do not need to sell shares at the moment. So you can actually make money. In fact, a lot of Awesome10X members appreciate the fact that Nikki is very adamant when she gives new calls. Again, I said the new call was March 12. It wasn't March 3. Let me show you exact charts. Let me show to you the new call was happening on March 12, not March 3. Do you know during this time, March 345, while NEO was falling 43 to March 5, what did Awesome10X Inner Circle do? I was awake. I was awake hand holding people who were doing a suicide hotline, who didn't know what to do with their money. And I was telling them, hold on to your shares because there will be a fast move on the upside. And I even bought there. And how can I prove to you? Well, I could show to you my IBKR, or I could just show to you how I did on my eToro. Because eToro is for free. I mean, I allowed people to copy me. People said that they want to copy me, and they wanted to copy me, and they only told me about eToro actually January 2021. So this is my entire eToro portfolio. You could see that I started only this year. In fact, if you'll notice, I started with $5,000, and I added about $10,000, and people said that I have to have $25,000 in order to get approved to the eToro Popular Investor Program. And so I read the rules and I added another $10K just today. So eToro, I now have about $25,000. Take note that that gain is actually lower than what you think, because I actually started with 5K, added 10K, and then added 10K. So the truth of the matter is that I am making about 20% actually in a month, or even actually 50% in my actual portfolio in IBKR, because I have access to more strategies in IBKR rather than the limits of eToro. For instance, with eToro, you can't own Copen and Vuzi, which I actually have in my own portfolio. We made some money on that wearable play. Now let's take, and of course, many other companies that are not available in eToro. Nonetheless, you could see that, yeah, so it's very clear that you could see that there were some sells which are really shorts, right? Shorted these extended names. And then if you look closely, there were actually buys made on the actual eve of the drop. So you'll notice, show more, March 3, 4, 5. Look, I tried to even short, no, but I covered it immediately, expecting that the markets would fall. And then what did I do? I was actively buying March 6, buy NASDAQ, buy everything, right? Covering some. Buy Nano Dimension, March 8, buying there. So you could argue that I was buying. I was buying Sunrun, buying Neo. I was cost averaging these companies. Buying Nano Dimension below 10, buying it as even as 5. You could see that. Sorry, no, not 5. I bought it at $7. I bought some Nano Dimensions there. So yeah. So you could see that the navigation was happening in all the sell in all the buys and sells. In a choppy market, no matter how you want to make money while sleeping, on certain days, it's rare, all right? It's rare. On certain days, you'd have to be actively there catching those opportunities, which we actually advise our Awesome10X members to do. So when the markets were collapsing, we were actively buying Nano Dimension at about 7, even if it fell to about 6. We were actively buying Tesla at about 600 all the way to about 500 if it had to. It only fell to 539. You could clearly see that dollar Tesla, Faceless Trader, we were actively buying our high convictions. That was about March, no? Here, March 6. So on the eve of March 5, wherein I was buying Tesla, I even shared what I bought. Look at here. Why bet on EVs, Tesla, XPeng, NIO? Yes, I believe in it long term. That's why on March 5, even before this publication was happening, was buying this NIO, great entry price, $34, $35, $38. So it's buying there. We were buying there. Tesla 600 to 400 keep on buying even before the actual bounce happened. CCIV 24, great entry, 24 to 22 while the market was collapsing. March 5, March 6. March 6 was a Saturday, but Saturday morning time is actually still Friday in US time. Depends on 1 a.m. If yeah. So you could see that any accusations of us being actually flip-floppy is wrong. When you buy the crashes last week and continue to hold them, look, these are actual portfolios. We were buying the dips. That's why when it rallied, kaboom up. That's why the portfolios were going up. That's really the truth. Yeah. I mean, I'm an open book. That's why you can actually just turn back time and look closely at what exactly was happening. Every buy call, every sell call, every buy call, and why sell calls were happening. Because of course, if you actually believe that the market is gonna fall 10 to 20% because pigs are gonna get slaughtered, it was correct to nuke them all. So look at this. As I said, why did Thanos prefer to snap his fingers and create a new world instead? Why did the doctor chop the leg off when he can just save it and surgically take out the tumor? Why did Awesome10X nuke only to just buy it back and buy his winners afterwards? Why bother doing these? Why did he break up with all his girlfriends and then resume on coming back anyway? I thought it was marriage. What an outrage. It is controversial, but you have to understand. You can do anything that you want in the portfolio, but one spaghetti sauce is one spaghetti sauce. I can only commit with a relaxed head. I do not normally nuke. In 2 years' time, I only thought about nuking my port actually twice. Once during January 31, 2020, because I was fearful about the Wuhan virus in China. However, during that time, I only nuked 35% cash. So I was like partial nuke. But when the risk unfolded in March 2020, I was getting 30 to 40% drawdowns despite 65% long. So I said to myself, if the probability of going down 30 to 40% or even 80% drawdowns, I would rather nuke it and begin again. So I took advantage of the volatility and chaos, simply sidelining when March 12, 2021. It wasn't, and by the way, before March 12, 2021, there was an actual sell call at Feb 17, 16. Those are actually, you can actually find it all. It is actually pasted in the summary. I even gave a huge summary on which stocks to chop. So actually, the accusation falls moot because I'm 100% precise on every call I've made. So really, I could defend every call I've done. So is it controversial? Yes. Necessary depends on people's viewpoints. As I said, in a marriage room, you have to understand that you marry a company if the company is acting the same. You marry the guy, and then the guy acts crazy. What do? You give him space. You give him space. And then if he's not for you, you divorce that guy after maybe some time. So out of curiosity, why did Awesome10X nuke their portfolios and not just hedge? Thank you in advance. I said it's easier to nuke and start it from scratch, but this is a personal decision. Others who decide not to nuke are fine as long as they know how to short and also how to go long. So I am respectful of your building plans and your approach to your portfolio that you can handle. You can be emotional with your investing decisions. You can be very attached with them. Hopefully, I help give examples on whether you are attached to your stock or your actual portfolio amount. I think that when push comes to shove, when you see 200,000 go 180,000 or 160,000, no matter if the process of generating a long-term marriage to the companies you own is intact, the fundamentals are intact, you should be able to handle volatility. And for others, they might prefer to have 50% cash when a drop happens so that then when the roller coaster goes deep, they might actually want to ride it out. Some people want to ride out the volatility, and one other kind of members would want less volatility when there's extreme terror moves, such as a roller coaster drop. A teacher can only help you find yourself. I am not you, and you aren't me. So I'd even give you many strategies. Can I win with 50 stocks? Can I win with 5 stocks? Can I win with 100 stocks? The answer is yes on all. There are many criteria. What is your investment size or your trade size? So me, personally, I teach people to invest in small positions. I start with 1 to 2%, sometimes a maximum of 5%, just to gradually bump it up to 9 or even 15% at most. I think everybody should start small, no matter if it's a $2,000 account, a $50,000 account, or even millions of dollars. If you have small sizes, you can increase it after time. You can even add onto the position or initiate new positions in the same sector when you see that the market waters are bullish. Now, this could be 10 stocks, 20 stocks, 50 stocks. You gradually increase the number of stocks as the markets are very bullish on that sector. Having more money in your account does not make you a better Awesome 10X investor. If you cannot manage $10,000, you'll never be able to manage $20,000 or even $100,000 or $1,000,000 or even 10 million or $100 million. You must slowly build up your convenience, your confidence through time. And in a way, even if I'm here, I'm just here to coach you on your journey. So my idea is invest small positions. High probability of success on these positions are happening because of the fundamental deep dive that Awesome 10X gives you. High rewards because we look for Awesome 10X companies, the companies that are going to go 1,000% in a decade. Liquidity is important, although in the Philippines, it's a hard thing. In the US, everything in the US is mostly liquid. The right strategy that fits for you. Can you handle being a tortoise? Cost average, we talked about that. Can you handle being a rabbit, trading in and out? Can you handle that strategy in a choppy market? Do you know yourself? So the right strategy for yourself. Do it as many times as you can when you find high reward, low risk investment. Preferably, I'd like you to be a tortoise, make money while sleeping, cost averaging. But in a market situation that is choppy, you are actually required. The right strategy for you is to actually be a rabbit. But if you can't be a rabbit, at the very least, that's the reason why you had to nuke all and be in cash, because you can't handle the volatility. So some people can understand why team never sell is actually not static. It depends on qualitative strategies. In a real marriage, you can love a person and you can say forever. But when that person becomes different from the person you married, I hope that divorce is allowed in your heads, whether in your country or in another country. I mean, you don't want to marry someone forever if he kicks you, beats you, doesn't treat you well, and so forth. Thank you for sharing. What you're doing is, I believe, right. This is one commentary of one person, even if it goes against the never sell or hold forever views of other people. Other subscriptions will tell you just buy and hold forever. Awesome 10X is actually superior to all those methodologies, by the way. Awesome 10X knows when to marry that company and when to dump that guy if that guy doesn't treat you well. Do I believe in marriage forever? Hopefully, if that company or that person treats you well. But if that person does not treat you well, you have a trim exposure. You have to know how to get out, because you cannot always stay in a relationship if that guy beats you to a pulp. You have to understand that a great person can change over time. And we like you to have an Awesome 10X system superior to all other methods, by the way. Awesome 10X is superior to perhaps all of the other subscriptions that have taught you nothing. We teach you how to be flexible. The nuke was due to market conditions changing. It was recognizing the market has peaked in 2021 in the short term. You're going to get market crashes. The person you married is not the same person anymore. How can I say forever? How can I be team never sell when that person I married became crazy or will be choppy and will have lower highs? I mean, I'm ready to say forever and go long term if he is still great. That's why we told you half Flintstones, half Jetsons is great. If that was your entire portfolio, you could be a team never sell. If your only position is Disney, General Motors, probably a Twitter, a Ford, Disney, these are all team. Why is it still a half? Why is it going all-time highs? Because it is a half Jetson of half Flintstone. Because it is momentum and value. But if you have momentum and expensive, what do you get? A drop. That's what Teledoc is. A great company, momentum great, but expensive. And what happened? A 30 to 40% drop from $300 all the way to $180. Is C Limited a bad company? No. But did it drop? Yes, 280 to 11. Why did we have to sell some C Limited at 280? I did sell near the peak. Why did I even sell Razor at 320? I hope that you explained to me, and I explained it then. I said that the dollars were spiking, take profits. Recall what I said. If you're an inner circle member, you know that. Now, for the other non-inner circle members, you don't get all my calls accurately. You don't get it real time. So you probably get it maybe a month after. You didn't know that, oh, Miss Nikki, they trimmed some awesome 10X razors on that 320, Feb 17, 2021. Anyway, and people were asking, in the end, when the markets really dropped, that's when some people understood the sell call was actually helping save them 20% more money than they would have rather than actually just holding on. So example, people are asking, was it cheaper than where you sold? Yes, 20% cheaper. I saved myself from a 20% drawdown. For others, maybe 10% lower ko lang nabili. 10% lower, I was able to buy, but it's okay. I still have a lot of cash. And then some people are saying, yeah, I hear some people complaining, why did you sell? And then I said, I'm posted lower levels. Tama naman ginawa mo. Yes, that's the right call. All-time highs yung portfolio ko. That's true. My portfolios are actually hitting all-time highs because, well, I sold, I nuked, I bought it back, I sold puts, I sold shorts, and then covered in long. Understandably, not everyone knows that. Not everyone has the same experience level. And so I would assume that a newbie might probably still at 100% cash, which is why today's topic is to actually explain what stocks would they construct in their portfolio in a market sell-off with a lot of buying opportunities. So even if tumaas yung market, let's assume that the market didn't fall, you still did the right thing to mitigate the risk of a crash. Yeah, it's a controversial topic. Do you know that if Jerome Powell actually raised rates because of inflation, the market could have collapsed to 10,000 NASDAQ, and if you didn't nuke all, you could suffer 50% drawdowns today. So I think most people do not know what they're doing, and therefore Awesome 10X tries to teach them what to do. And yeah, binili ko naman lahat ng lovers ko. Next week, I'll buy NNDM, Nano Dimension, A1, which is March Forged. Pahintay muna means wait a bit, and then I'm lining up. In hindsight, sometimes what I sold continued higher, which is Copin and Vuzi. I trimmed some of them. Vuzi is 28. I sold at about 18 to 20. I sold some Copin at about 10. Copin is now 11. Yes, I saved myself from the drop of Copin from 10 to 7. But if I didn't get back in at $7, it's now 11. So those are, of course, the risks that if you trim everything, some of the companies that you believe in the long term are easy to bounce. Yes, I know that. Yeah. So, and then people are saying, I'm thinking, when do I deploy my second and third tranches now? Is it 5% lower, 10% lower? I said, I usually end up being a scattered person if the markets are up. Because when the markets are very bullish, I could bet on 50 stocks, 70 stocks, and all of them will actually make money. And it's not wrong to actually be betting and spreading yourself across the board, because true enough, you actually want to get a piece of the pie when it's in their farming. You want to actually get a piece of the pie with the SPACs that are in the additive manufacturing, with the biotech sector, with the blockchain sector, with the battery recycling, with a lot of companies actually. In a bullish market, these disruptive companies will really get a lot of buy flow because they are doing a great move in the future. Example, food sustainability and security. You may not believe that pre-revenue companies like Meat Tech 3D, you probably won't believe in it because it's too nascent of an industry. eVTOLs, EV takeoff landing might be a too early industry for you to understand, but give it time, they do have a 10x reward. So I think what people have to acknowledge and understand is that Awesome 10x thinks all things. It's like a chessboard. I even think about the kings and the queens and the rooks and the pawns and all the bishops out there. And I actually prepare you. I prepare you more than adequately, rather than perhaps, I'm not trying to compare myself with other subscription-based companies, but people were saying to me that other subscription companies just teach how to buy and hold. They don't teach me how to sell. They don't even teach me options. They don't teach me how to sell puts. They don't teach me how to do this buy low, sell high. They don't teach me technical analysis, which I actually appreciate from Awesome10X, because not only do I learn about secular trends, I learn how to navigate a choppy market. Other people are more appreciative, and that Nikki knows how to help them in a drawdown. You see that point? Because some people don't know how to teach you how to handle your drawdowns, how you minimize your drawdowns. Yeah, so the more bearish the markets are, of course, the more concentrated I become in leaders, because I'm more high conviction, example, on EV sectors. That's why when the market tanked, I was very highly concentrated on XPeng, NIO, Tesla, a lot of electric vehicles, because I knew that those three would bounce the hardest. Now, of course, there will be other companies that will bounce, right? But why those three? That was a pure conviction play on fundamentals and technicals. So there's always a payoff. Sometimes all decisions have a risk-reward outcome. Do you save the queen, or do you get rid of all the pawns for me to buy the queen that will bounce first, right? If this was a multiple strategic chessboard, for me to win, I'd have to be a queen's gambit. I need to sometimes understand, sell all these, take exposure, get some cash, deploy it here, 30% win immediately on your Teslas, 600 to 700, 720, 20% immediate gains there, a very strong rebound in just 2 days or so. And we knew that after Tesla's opportunity, there will be more oversold rallies that will happen, which we took advantage as well. Those are actually how a pro goes. You actually aren't talking to a newbie here. I know how to handle the markets more than other people who just know nothing. Whether you appreciate it or me, I don't know if you appreciate it or not, because I'm not, I handle everyone, newbies, veterans. Actually, I'm way miles ahead versus how my age might actually show. So there's always a payoff. It's not always a win-win strategy. Sometimes I could win my sleep, but I'll lose some money, right? I could sleep in a market volatility, but I'll lose some money. Conversely, in a volatile time, I was awake, helping every single Awesome10X handle the volatility, navigating the choppy markets with them. So sometimes I won't lose money, but I end up having to be awake. How awake am I? Something like 2 a.m. in the morning, I was awake helping people navigate, because I knew that I had to be there. When the markets are collapsing, that's the moment that every Awesome10X member needs Nikki to tell them, what do I buy? Take note, before the actual drop, I was having cash to buy. Yes, I trimmed before the crash. Feb 16, 17, I was selling. March 3, 4, 5, I was buying. Right? March 12, I sold again. Nuke all. Understand? And then, of course, I need you to know the truth. You think I want to be awake 10 p.m. till 2 a.m. watching the markets, analyzing what the Fed will say? The Federal Reserve talks 2 a.m. in the Philippine markets because 2 p.m. U.S. time. Naturally, I don't want to be awake while sleeping. I don't want to be awake to make money while sleeping. That's why I need you to make money while sleeping. But when the markets are choppy, that's the reason why you had to be less exposed to the markets, because there will be choppiness, bullishness, and bearishness, depending on what the Federal Reserve will say on that night. It was critical to actually trim exposures, or if I had exposure, to be on the short side, actually. All right, so I taught people actually how to handle. Yeah, so and it's very controversial, but I said to people, I still recall a time when I heard a client said to me, Nikki, are you telling me to buy weed? And then I said, yes, sir. It's not a bad product and it's neither a bad company. Client said, this is risky, Nikki. I think you're going to have a reputational damage for teaching people to buy cannabis names. Look what happened. All cannabis names I said were actually 5x, 10x. Look back. Sir, I teach people to know what they own. I do not tell them to drink poison. It's not up to me. It's up to them to understand. I proceeded to teach Charlotte's Web, Canopy Growth, Green Thumb, True Leaf, Cura Leaf. I even talked about what Chronos and Hexo and Organigram did. I taught about GW Pharma. I even discussed how these best operators have an indoor farming system. I talked about them. Anyway, it's 40 minutes, but for people who don't understand that Nikki is superior to perhaps buy and hold newsletters out there, you're discounting the fact that I am a chartered market technician. I'm not simply a person who understands fundamental secular trends. I know how to manage risk. Ma'am, I can't copy you na po on eToro, full na po. You can actually just manually copy me. You'll see that right now I'm long the markets. So you could see in my portfolio, it's public, by the way. I do this publicly to help Filipinos, non-Filipinos understand how to make money globally. You can make 20% in a month. Now people say, Nikki, don't tell people how to make money easily because it's not easy. Well, what do? I do this constantly every single day. I watch the markets every single day. The only reason why it's easy for you is because I did it for you. I spoon-fed you. Make money while sleeping happens because you are watching Awesome10X deep dives. You are getting the benefits that Nikki does for you, presenting you on a silver platter. That's the convenience of what Awesome10X Inner Circle members get. Because I spend 20 hours in a day or sometimes 12 hours every single day finding all those Awesome10X companies for you. Whether you believe it or not, yes, it's not easy, but I make it easy because I did the hard work. You didn't have to do the hard work. You just needed to follow Nikki. Oh, so Nikki today bought Teladoc at 187. Nikki bought Neo, Nikki bought Zoom, Nikki bought Tencent, Twitter, Unity, C Limited, SunPower, and she has pending orders to buy the following companies too. Copy trade. Copy trade allows you to get the benefits of my mind, what I worked hard for free. You guys should be thanking me. You shouldn't be complaining. I'm giving you all my hard work for free. I don't know why there's a lot of people who are asking, flip-flop, team never sell, then team trader. Guys, the market's changed. You make money while sleeping in a trending market. Seriously, you just make money while sleeping. It's the easiest way to make money. But when the markets are choppy, you want me to tell you a lie? That you'll make money while sleeping? Of course not. In a choppy market, you learn how to sell puts. You learn how to sell calls. You learn how to buy low, sell high. If I don't tell you now, how will you make money? Okay, that's it. Bye-bye, guys. Thank you.